What are ethics? Well, ethics are kind of like marriage. It's a mutually beneficial trade agreement. Is it possible for someone to actually act outside their own self-interests? Or is it really impossible for someone to possess altruistic motives to their actions? In this study, we're going to provide a basis for the beginnings of the study, or the beginnings of the discussion over what are ethics.
Ethics is simply what is right and wrong. Ethics can range from acting in the best interest for the greater good to performing work with integrity and objectivity. Ethical behavior creates a trust and a reputation that leads to success in the business place.
Ethics to me is living by a moral code. For one to be ethical, one must think how their actions will affect other individuals. Ethics is going with your gut when making decisions and always sticking to your guns. Ethics are important because in the workplace, individuals are faced with many problems. Most of the time, those problems and challenges have many stakeholders. Being ethical is examining the problem and figuring out the right solution to help every stakeholder.
To me, ethics answers the question, what do I do when faced with an ethical dilemma? Do I pursue my happiness or do I sacrifice my happiness for the greater good? Your decision is not only about pleasing others, but what will help you sleep at night and be viewed by others as having strong morals. In the end, your final decision will define the type of person you are.
Ethics to me is knowing the difference between right and wrong. Simply put, ethics is figuring out whether or not to do something. Businessmen and women face ethical dilemmas every day. For example, they might be tempted to take credit for other people's work. But if the employee has acceptable ethical values, then they have nothing to worry about.
Okay, ethics are a general concept to everyone. Some people think their behavior is proper and appropriate to others, but it is hard to be defined. What's the proper and appropriate behavior? Do you possess humility? Are you truthful? Do you fulfill commitments? And do you reproach unjust acts? If you keep those in mind, you are defined as an ethical person. Being an ethical person to make society happy.
Ethics is good because it causes people to actively think about the well-being of others, and it also causes people to act in a way that they'd be comfortable with an outcome coming if they were on the opposite side.
All right, after watching all these different little videos, you can see that ethics are vastly different from person to person. They're not always the same, and that's why it's really important to make people aware about this and show them that there's certain ethical behavior in the business setting that is important to be across the entire board, that everyone need to share. And that's why we wanted to do this, just to make people aware that there's always differences in ethics and it's not always black and white. Thank you for watching this video.